We'll go on to the next paper, which is by Ranjith Krishnan K R. He is an assistant professor in the Department of English, NSS College, Pandalam. His paper titled Songs of Harmony, New Dramaturgies for Sustainable Development. So before we go on to the paper, I think we'll have an introduction about the speaker. I'm personally acquainted with the speakers, but then for the audience sake, I'll just introduce him. He is an assistant professor, as I told you, in the Department of English, NSS College, Pandalam. He has completed his BA from MSM College, Kayankulam, MA from Bishop Moore College, Mavedikara. He has done his MPhil in Institute of English and qualified NET JRF and has done PhD in University of Kerala. He has published various articles in internationally reputed journals. He has edited books, scripted for short films. I know his area of interest is mainly, or area of expertise is film studies, isn't it? And other than that, he is also pursuing Indian literature and literary theory. And I think, Ranjith sir, shall we move on to the paper? And the title is quite interesting, and I think the content will also be enlightening.
Thank you so much, Chitra teacher. Am I audible?
Yeah, sure.
And good morning all, respected Chair Dr. Chitra V.S., other dignitaries, friends and students. And first of all, let me thank all the organizers of MC College Trivandrum, especially Dr. Shibu MP, for giving me an opportunity to be part of this seminar. And also, I think special mention should go to Madan Mohan sir, and I feel extremely privileged to be bracketed with him, at least for this session. And I can also see Professor Hari sir among the audience, which makes it really tough for me. Anyway, without much delay, let me go to the paper. And as teacher has already told, the paper is titled Sagas of Harmony, New Dramaturgies for a Sustainable World. And I'll be focusing on the concept of climate change and its representation in theatre in this particular paper. Since I'm more connected with the world of English literature, I thought I'll focus on it while dealing with one of the gravest issues of modern times. And that is, again, climate change and its impact upon the society. So before moving on, let me share my slides for you. One sec, please. I hope the slides are visible, right, ma'am? Can you see the slide?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So the title again, Sagas of Harmony, New Dramaturgies for a Sustainable World. And I'll be dealing with 5 different aspects in this paper. So an introductory part, which is all about the connection between literature and society. Then I'll move on to the world of drama and its connection with ecology. The third, which is the most important part, is the concept of eco-dramaturgy. Then I'll be referring to a play which came around maybe in the 1950s, Waiting for Godot, written by Samuel Beckett. And finally, the place of the modern times related to the concept of eco-dramaturgy. And coming to the connection between literature and society, as you all know that literature has long been a powerful medium for reflecting, critiquing, and also shaping society. It's a cliched concept that it mirrors the social, political, and cultural context, because the authors, they always draw upon their experiences and observations to depict the realities of life. And thus, through their works, the writers provide the readers with insights into different ways of living and thinking. And I believe that many authors have done that also, that literature can inspire social change by raising awareness about serious issues and mobilizing readers to take action. And it can create spaces for dialogue, generate discussions about societal issues. And regarding the environment, and issues related to it. There are many authors who have shouldered the responsibility of addressing such things. And in my paper, as I have already told you, I'll be throwing light upon the theater of the world of drama, theater or the world of drama, and its attempt to address various ecological issues. And theater is often considered as an expression of human needs, dreams, desires, and fears. And it provides you a kind of a multimedia and a multi-purpose activity. And right from the early days of drama, one can perceive the writer's concern for nature and maybe ecological worries in their productions. For example, when we analyze the plays of Greek playwrights, Shakespeare, and those authors who followed, the same can be again seen. So moving to the concept of eco-dramaturgy, the term was coined by none other than a theater activist named Theresa Jane May. And the intention was to throw light upon the concerns around nature. I believe that it is still an emerging field that intersects ecology, environmental studies, literature, and of course, drama. And it focuses on how theatrical practices and narratives engage with ecological themes and issues. As Madan Mohan sir has already told, it is not about the text. All these writers, playwrights associated with the concept of eco-dramaturgy, what they have been trying is to present the realities on stage. It's now more about a proper scripted play. It's about action. And they promote awareness and understanding of the relationship between humans and the natural world. Moving forward, coming to the features of eco-dramaturgy, as the chair mentioned in the previous session, it is an interdisciplinary approach because it draws from various disciplines, including ecology, philosophy, sociology, and performance studies. It provides a better understanding regarding the ecological concerns, and it encourages collaboration between playwrights, environment, and it can enhance the depth and authenticity of the narrative. And the second point I have to make is they consider performance as a medium for change. So these two are the very, or rather the most important concepts related to eco-dramaturgy. Performances can create immersive experiences that evoke emotional responses. And they prompt the individuals to consider their role in environmental stewardship. Maybe like the plays of Bertolt Brecht, who was the advocate of epic theater. And the third point is the concept of anthropomorphism. Because we always give importance to the voices of the human beings. But here we have the representation of the non-human. And through it, they try to provide voice to even the non-human entities. For example, the animals. So in such plays, we have the animals speaking. The plants, the plant world having a voice. And of course, the whole ecosystem. And thus it challenges the anthropocentric perspectives and encourage audience to empathize with the natural world. Something like a fable, the Panchatantra stories, or maybe the Aesop fables. So here we have the non-humans voicing their opinions. The fourth one is, all these plays, they try to promote sustainable practices, both in content of the narrative and also in the production processes of the theater. The most important thing is that the stage properties, the settings, it includes the usage of eco-friendly materials. They try to reduce the waste, and thus they promote awareness of sustainability within the theater community. Thus, it attempts to encourage the readers to develop an environmentally conscious behavior. Next is the cultural narratives and the indigenous perspectives. Many eco-dramaturgical works draw on indigenous knowledge, which we usually ignore, and also the cultural narratives that emphasize harmony with nature. And these perspectives can provide valuable insights into sustainable practices and the importance of biodiversity. Thus, I believe that it can promote an understanding of ecological relationships. And in this world, the audience, they are not passive onlookers, because eco-dramaturgy promotes the engagement of the audience and also activism. They do not remain passive. Thus, the concept promotes and encourages community participation. When the play is over, discussions are generated. Placards, the audience carry placards to the theater. And even the post-performance discussions, workshops, community engagement activities, all these things are part of this kind of a theater. And that we have already discussed, the use of green properties. Thus, I believe that eco-dramaturgy encourages both the creators and the audience to reflect on their roles in shaping a sustainable future. It is not only about the aesthetic side. It is about the concern for nature. Through its narratives and performances, eco-dramaturgy has the potential to inspire change and promote a more profound appreciation for the environment. I think at this point, I would also like to mention a play that was written and performed during the post-Second World War time. At least a few are familiar with this concept, the play Waiting for Godot, written by Samuel Beckett. And though it's an absurd drama based on the post-war era, it is often regarded as an allegory for climate change also. A kind of a precursor to the plays related to eco-dramaturgy. I'm sure that Beckett was never an environmentalist, but his works poised between forms of precarity and hope. I believe it provides a rich territory for the exploration of the most pressing issues of our times. Another play of Beckett is Endgame, which is again connected to certain environmental issues. And these are a few images connected to Waiting for Godot. The two lead characters with bowler hats. One is Vladimir and the other one is Estragon. Then we have a master, Pozo, who carries a whip. And the other one is the slave named Lucky with a basket, a bag in his hands. And at the beginning of the play itself, the scene is set in a bare country, a country road with a mound and a tree. And when the curtain rises, the audience can see two elderly tramps waiting. So we also come to know that they are waiting for their appointment with an identity, or rather a name, a person named Godot who never comes. And I believe that the bare setting itself illustrates the possible future of the world. And we can also understand the concept of dark ecology. This is another image related to the play Waiting for Godot. And coming to Godot and the present, the most important one is the universality of the theme. Any kind of interpretation is possible with this play, especially the use of images, which indicates Anthropocene, the barrenness of the context, and the struggle of the two characters throughout the play, and the concept of dark ecology, which I have already mentioned. The existing ideas about nature being something separate from human existence. Instead, it recognizes that humans are enmeshed within the larger ecological web. The word dark itself is connected to the shadows or the uncertainties surrounding the ecological predicament. And the word anthropos, which was quite popular during the time of pandemic, a period of unusually reduced human mobility. And many reports came that it showed a considerable global showing of modern human activities, notably travel. But everything has went back to the normal now. And with the concept of anthropos, we believe that it brought back even the animals back to their habitat. We realize that remaining busy in life can give nothing but how long will it last is another question. And the characters, of course, as every man, because even in modern times, we are all Vladimirs and Esfagan, waiting for something to happen. And one of the most famous quotes, which can be related to even the climate change, there is man in his entirety blaming his shoe when his foot is guilty. And another very popular quotation is by Barack Obama, when he said that we are the first generation to feel the effect of climate change, and maybe the last generation who can do something about it. And coming to the last part, the concept of EMOS, E-M-O-S. And the concept itself is quite interesting because it can be defined as Earth matters on, expanded as Earth matters on stage. And the significance of EMOS, the practice of eco-dramaturgy. And EMOS began in 2004 in California. And basically, it is a movement connected to the university, the Humboldt State University in California. And what they did was, it was an attempt to reread or restage plays to foreground the ecological themes. And I wish to document a few plays which are part of EMOS, through which they try to practice eco-dramaturgy and also provide a message to the world, to the audience, regarding various concerns related to ecology. Very popular play related to EMOS as Odin's Horse by Robert Kuhn. And it's a play which is set in the Northwest lumber town, where people lost jobs with activists staging protests against cutting the trees. So here we have a dichotomy, environment versus job. So we have people living, earning their living through cutting timber, and those people who risk their lives to save the oldest trees. Maybe you can consider this play as a civic dialogue, because it discusses issues related to various policies, challenges encountered by humanity, and other issues related to society. Another play is Shadow of the Giants by Matthew Graham Smith, which can be considered as a tree play, T-R-W, tree play. Again, a theater which was provoked by the deforestation happened in the Amazon forest. Again, the play is multidisciplinary. So we have an open stage, and the actors share their experiences with the audience. And the audience also gets an opportunity to evaluate the themes, and they discuss regarding the survival strategies. And it represents a spectrum of eco-dramaturgy as activism that moves from advocacy to inquiry. Another a very popular play is Thirst by Louis and Anita Chedwani. And it recreates an Indian village, an untouchable village, where the villagers experience a shortage in water. And in the play, we have a reporter investigating the reasons for the shortage of water. And a multinational company is responsible for the quandary. And later, the play becomes a kind of an investigative thriller when her sister disappears in this land. So again, this has a different technique, but the problem that they have dealt with in this play is very serious. Song of Extinction by Ellen Louis. Again, It's an intimate and personal exploration of transnational ecological connections that weave identities and places together into a story of pan-geographic loss. So here we have a young mother who died because of cancer, and the play deals with that loss, and the family suffers because of that loss. The play tries to find the reasons for this deadly disease, and it tries to juxtapose extinction, genocide, the personal loss, which leads to comprehend why such losses mean and why they matter. Another play is Salmon is Everything, again by Theresa May, the advocate of eco-dramaturgy, which collaborates with indigenous tribal communities written in the background of the famous Klamath River watershed. And it also embodies various concerns and the lived experience of regional tribal communities. Again, these members, the members of the indigenous community, they are part of this performance. They no longer stay away from the performance. They are right in front of the audience to narrate their own experiences, which makes these plays more significant. This is a visual, a still from the play Salmon is Everything. And it's a collaborative work which deals with the significance of rivers. Another play is Rain and Zoe, Save the World by Crystal Skillman. Here we have two eco-activist teenagers embarking on a motorcycle journey. And the journey is, they have an intention, that is to stage a protest against the fossil fuels. But things take a different turn very soon. But this play also tries to critique the manipulation of the land, water, and other things associated with nature, everything in the name of making profit. The play reminds that you, or rather we, as responsible for this mess. And sustainability must be rooted in community responsibility. And coming to the last part, I wish to mention a few titles of plays which are regarded as part of eco-grief. Again, a modern term. Eco-grief is something which explores the theme of ecological grief. Again, all these plays are university productions from the academic side. And these plays also incorporate the techniques of eco-dramaturgy. Plays like Daphne and Florence, which is again related to climate change and environmental loss. Blue Blood, Red Note, and Waiting for Invero Man. Again, a drama which is based on Hollywood movies. And it also emphasizes on the local engagement. The play, The Legends of Kazakh, directed by Deepan Shivaraman, can also be connected with this concept, eco-dramaturgy. It's actually an adaptation of the novel written by O.V. Vijay. And coming to the conclusion, stories are always regarded as acts of repair. The plays mentioned in my paper exemplify how dramaturgy is being integrated into contemporary theatre, using performance as a medium to engage audience with pressing environmental issues and emotional responses to climate change. Let's engage less in preaching, but consider this time at the right moment for action. These exercises are essential to practice compassion and to fight against climate crisis. So with this, let me wind up. And I once again thank all the organizers, Shibu sir, the teacher, and others for being part of this session. Thank you so much.